I grew up in the Second World War in Liverpool, England. My furthest recollection is when I was about 4 years old, when we were bombed out. What my mother used to do when the air raid sirens came on, they would come over the wireless, which was the radio, to say if it was going to be a heavy raid or not. If it wasn't a heavy raid, what she used to do, she used to sit us all under the kitchen table, which is a big wooden table, and she'd pack the Chesterfield and the easy chairs around the outside, and we'd sit under there until the all clear sounded. That was what we used to do. One particular night, the siren went, the air raid warning, went, and it says it was a heavy raid. So she decided we'd go to the air raid shelter. So we went to the air raid shelter and we stayed there while the bombing took place. After the all clear sounded, we went outside and the house that we lived in had been hit. It was bombed flat. All I remember is one of the easy chairs was right up to the end of the street. So consequently, we had nowhere to go. My mother had the carriage, which she must have taken with her to the air raid shelter. And there was 4 of us. There was myself, my 3-year-old sister, my 2-year-old brother, and the baby that she'd had in the September 1940. What we did, we walked with an air raid warden through the streets to her mother's, which was my grandmother, to her house to see if they would take us in. When we got there, a blast from the bombs had blown in the windows of the house, which is a small terrace house. And I remember distinctly my grandfather's face and my Uncle George, who was a teenager at the time. Their faces were bleeding and cut, so they couldn't take us in. So the air raid warden said he'd walk us to my father's mother, which was about half an hour's walk away. I remember walking along the streets with the air raid warden holding onto the carriage, and in the distance I could see the bombs dropping. I could see the lights, and I'm not sure if they whistled. I remember hearing a whistle. And then he walked us around the surrounding area to my father's mother's apartment. When we got there, she had taken in my father's brother's wife and his 2 children. So she says we could only stay for a couple of nights, but she took us in. After that, I remember my mother got us evacuated to Wales for 2 years. We were evacuated because we were bombed out. We had nowhere to go. In the Black House, you could have a flashlight, but you had to shine it on the ground, and so that when you got to the end of the sidewalk, so you wouldn't trip up. And when you got on the sidewalk as well, you weren't allowed to shine it around the street or anything, just to keep it covered like that, and just walk along with it in front of you. She dyed the sheets black, and that was the Black House, so that the enemy couldn't see the lights in the windows. You attached the black blinds to the windows so the lights couldn't shine through. It probably came over the radio, and they did give the news if it was the Black House. They got them from the neighbours, the newspapers, mostly from the radio.